A Japanese proverb says that if you have the pleasant experience of eating something you have not tasted before, your life will be lengthened by 75 days. The art of sushi and its consumption cannot be fully appreciated contextually without a close examination of its corresponding rich culinary history, aesthetic philosophy, and fascinating anthropological roots. What has become a culinary Epicurean and cultural phenomenon across the world is a cuisine that has evolved from surprisingly modest beginnings. Sushi as a style of food began as a way of preserving fish. The people along the Mekong River caught freshwater fish. During the monsoon season, the rivers would flood into the rice paddies, and fish would swim into the rice fields. Soon the farmers were raising fish in the paddies along with the rice. But the supply of fish came and went, and the farmed fish had to be harvested at the end of the rainy season before the rice paddies dried up. The dilemma was to how to store the fish for later consumption. First, they gutted and cleaned the fish, then packed it in cooked rice and sealed it inside a jar. As it fermented, lactic acid preserved the fish, along with the alcohol from the fermentation. And thus, the first sushi was born. The practice spread into China and then to Japan. And the Japanese, as with all cuisines that they adopt, started to improve it and make it their own. The finished edible product that results from this early method of sushi processing is known as nare sushi, a sushi made with carp. It was customary at that time to only eat the fish and discard the rice. This was regarded as a waste of good rice. So sushi stands for su, for vinegar, and shimeshi for rice. It was shortened to sushi. Anything that is added to the sushi rice becomes sushi, whether it be raw fish or not. After the 1923 Kanto earthquake, the sushi stalls started to disappear and sushi shops started to open. These sushi bars and sushi shops would be pivotal in the expansion of sushi overseas. In the 1800s, there was a large Japanese immigrant population in California. In 1855, the first Japanese restaurant opened in the Los Angeles district. In 1897, the Los Angeles Japanese Association was established. In 1903, marked the debut of the Rafu Shimpo, a bilingual daily newspaper. As these businesses began to thrive in proportion to the arrival of more new immigrants, an opportunistic group of restaurant operators flocked to the city to start the Rafu Shokikin Kumai, or the Food Association of Los Angeles, in 1914. While the Pacific War brought a devastating abrupt halt to all Japanese business operations, the food industry still managed to recover gradually and grew steadily once the war was over. The restaurant trade was helped by the fact that the local Japanese immigrants had developed a strain of sushi rice, which was being grown in California and even exported to Japan. The Kohoku rose and the Botan varieties are still available today. The availability of the stuff of sushi in California was an important supply-side condition for its successful establishment there. Sushi is in one sense rather versatile, as it can accommodate diverse fish and seafood species. In the mid-60s, sushi bars were established in 3 restaurants in LA's Little Tokyo: Kawafuku, Aigiku, and Tokyo Kaikan. These reputably sparked the trend for sushi, although by 1966 sushi was being served faster than hotcakes at the longer established Fuji Sukiyaki restaurant in Senran Teo, and the same city's Sanaraku had received favourable reviews for some years. In the 70s, sushi bars began to open in New York and across the States. Sushi became a trendy item, especially during Japan's economic boom, where there was lots of money and travelling Japanese businessmen. Also in 1970, Ichiro Meneshita at Tokyo Kaikan in Little Tokyo invented what became the California roll, a roll filled with crab, prawn, avocado, cucumber and mayo, which was a non-threatening stepping stone to the world of sushi. In the past few decades, the consumption of sushi has adopted both versatility and diversity. Sushi is now available in most elegant Epicurean settings, as well as in convenience stores, university cafes, and worldwide airport kiosks. Sushi has become a global thing. One thing that may have helped it along has been the kaiten sushi or sushi train, which brings sushi more to the masses and attracts people from curiosity. Without a number of sushi chefs, however, sushi would have been installed many years ago. But thanks to Japanese ingenuity, the sushi machine, or sushi robot as it's sometimes known, can roll hundreds of rolls per hour to satisfy the world's growing need for sushi.